The Metabolomist is the podcast where scientists connect to explore the unspoken issues in metabolomics research. I am Alice Limonciel, a senior scientist specialized in data analysis and interpretation, and in the series of podcasts that I will host, I will focus on how to interpret metabolomics. The reason why I chose to discuss this topic is that in my daily work I often get questions about this. I have a data set, I know which analytes I'm looking at, I know in which concentrations they're present in my samples, but what does it actually mean? What is the biological story behind it? And this is, of course, a question that cannot be answered in a very straightforward way. It takes a lot of hard work and connecting the dots to come to a part of the picture that you might be looking at. If you've ever done this work yourself, you know what I'm talking about. If you're new to the field or you've been focusing more on the analytical aspect, on the measurements or on the statistics without really making the extra step towards the interpretation, this might be new to you. I wanted to discuss this with other scientists who have already done this work of connecting the numeric values, connecting the statistically relevant data points to the actual biology that is happening in a patient or in an animal or in a cell. So in this series of podcasts, I will discuss with one metabolomist in every episode things that they are experts at. Some of them will be bioinformaticians, some of them will be more on the analytical chemistry side, some of them will be more biologists. These are the three main specialties that intertwine in the study of metabolomics. And each one, of course, has their own perspective on the work and has their own take on what it means in the greater scheme of biology once you have results. And what I found interesting was to see over the course of these interviews that at the end of the day, no matter what our background is, we always converge onto the same core values that help you to do quality interpretation and to keep progressing in your work. So as we go through these episodes, you will discover all these points and you will understand a bit better how each one of these metabolomists does their own work. And also, I hope that this will motivate you to give it a try for yourself, to do the hard work that it is to interpret your own metabolomic data, especially if you're doing studies where you're looking for mechanisms, to strive to find the interesting stories that are hidden in the complex datasets that you work with. So please join me and my guests on this series of podcasts. You can find them on the Metabolomist website, themetabolomist.com, and you can also follow me on LinkedIn to get news on metabolites, on data analysis tools, and also on topics that are related to metabolomics and the interpretation of metabolomic data. I can't wait for you to discover all this amazing knowledge that was shared so generously by the guests, and I hope that you will enjoy it as much as I did.